Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine with Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys StoryLine. It is Thursday, December the 19th, and it's the last show of the week. Like I've said all week long, we have a different schedule for the podcast. So on Friday, we're only going to have half the shows. Your afternoon shows slide down to the morning. Your morning shows will be canceled, and that includes this one. All right, I'm Nick Eatman, and it's time to talk Cowboys for the next 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to 50 minutes probably. We don't go an hour because of the Cowboys break. We'll be coming in here. Derek will give me the stink eye, so we're not going to do that. All right, let's talk, though. Let's talk about Cowboys and Buccaneers, Sunday Night Football. Bucs are won 4 in a row. Cowboys won 3 of 4. Two of the hottest teams in the NFL in the last month. I mean, it's funny as that is to say that is the reality. And especially when you look at the Cowboys standpoint, I mean, Rico Dowdle is running the ball better than anyone here in the last month. The Cowboys as a defense are as good as anybody as far as sacks. You know, I mean, since Micah Parsons has returned from his injury, the Cowboys lead the NFL in sacks with 24. And I think the second closest team is 18, so it's not by just a little. I mean, they're third in turnovers forced, so he's making a difference, and then therefore they're getting the lead, and they get the lead. They're running the ball, and so it's complementary football is what we're seeing here. So the Cowboys are going to have a tough test though. In the next 3 games against teams that are all in the playoff picture as it stands, and 2 of them leading their division. Tampa Bay, 1 of them. Philly is next, and then Washington is sitting in that final playoff spot as well. So, all right, let's talk. Let's get to the phone lines. Let's do this. So Zach in Atlanta started us off.
Hey, good morning, Nick in Frisco.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Good. What kind of snarky stuff do you have for me today?
I don't have a snarky comment, but maybe initiating a fun game or comment for the show today.
Okay.
So I'm putting together a Christmas wish list, and here are my 2 wishes. 1, we get Trey Lance in the game, and I think he's going to score a touchdown.
Okay.
Christmas wish number 2, I really want to see us retry the Brandon Aubrey field goal, either tying the record or setting the record. I don't think the conditions were great for it last week. So, let's have fun.
Right.
So I think the Cowboys win 31-27, and I think it'll be a fun game. But Merry Christmas to you and Beam and all the holidays to come, and let's enjoy a fun game on Sunday night. Take care.
Sounds good. I'll tell you, my wish list is that I get a pen that actually works. That's the one that I wish. All right, cool game. Trey Lance in the game, scoring a touchdown for the Cowboys, I would think, is what you're asking for. And then a better attempt by Brandon Aubrey. Yeah, I mean, indoors, I'm for that. 66. Let's go for that is the record, right? 66. So you need 67. Yeah. 70 outdoors off the grass. It just didn't seem like it was going to happen at all. Turf, which you can get more of the ball obviously when you're talking about turf, and then you're talking about no conditions, comfortable. I'm for it. Again, it's got to be the end of the half. It's got to make sense, or end of the game. But 67, 68, but that doesn't seem right at all at 70. But I mean, and again, I've said this before. If your guy misses the Pro Bowl because you were messing around doing all those kind of kicks, and I know it's bigger than that, but I'm just saying the fans that are like, man, I can't believe he didn't make it or whatever. His stats won't look that great because you're doing stuff like that. As for Trey Lance playing in the game, yeah, it's got to be a good situation as well. I'm for him. Like the other day, they call a timeout, 2-minute warning in the first half. It's 3rd and 1. There's 10-0 Cowboys, and they want to run some kind of read option, and he fumbles the ball. Well, you just came off a timeout. Put Trey Lance in the game. If that's the call you want to do, put him in the game. Let him do that. I think that was a good opportunity to do that, and the Cowboys missed on that. But as far as going out there and playing to win, I mean, still Cooper Rush, I think, gives you your best chance to do that. All right, let's go to Robbie, Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Good morning, Nick. Merry Christmas.
Good morning. How are you?
I am phenomenal. Outstanding. Wonderful.
All right.
Yeah, it's good life. How about you? You're good?
Good. Decent.
Hey,
Yep.
I always decent. Come on. We talked about it before. You got the best job in the world. You got great family, great wife, great kids, great son.
Decent right now. Decent right now. The stupid
Oh,
pen.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because I'm talking too much. My bad.
What's up? Yes. Chris Beam is the.
Hey,
he saved the day. Now I'm doing
Chris
great.
Beam is awesome.
Now I'm doing great. What's up?
Love you, Chris Beam. Hey, I wanted to give a shout-out first, and then I want to talk about the Bucs a little bit. My shout-out is to all the people that make StoryLine so good. Obviously, you and Chris first.
That's
but
it.
Dylan in Northport, Rob in
the
Vegas,
fans.
Irene.
Yeah.
Can't forget Randy. I mean, there's just so many people that have so much knowledge of football, and they just add so much to the show, and you just let them go sometimes. And it's awesome to hear everybody else's opinions, man. Even though I disagree with them sometimes, it's wonderful to hear. And I love what you guys have put together, and I love what the fans have done together with you guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, it's a fun community, I'm a little worried they don't need us anymore. They're doing their own little thing on Twitter, and it might blow up. It might be the biggest thing we've got. So
I need to learn how to get on that thing because I can't ever find it, but I'll figure it out one of these days.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Bucs,
that hard.
Cowboys Sunday night.
Okay.
Man, if we keep playing the way we play, I'll tell you now, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I think we can beat them. I know Baker's playing phenomenal, but he'll give up the ball. I know Mike Evans is great, but his run after the catch is not what it used to be. Their run game is not nearly what it was. Our run game's kicking in gear. I think we got a good chance, man. I know we don't have a calls tomorrow, so
yeah.
what about 28-24?
All right. 28-24. Just like Zach had 31-27, so 4-point games both times. I like it.
And that's it, man. I'll let you guys go.
All right. Thanks, Robbie.
Merry Christmas again. Bye.
You too. Merry Christmas to you. I think that Tampa's playing well. I mean, they're doing a good job right now. And that game last week, I mean, the Chargers, wherever they are, the Chargers, I mean, they got smashed at home by Tampa. That was a game that I think a lot of people were surprised about, just at least the final outcome there. So without a doubt, Tampa's playing better. But if they have a Bucs storyline or a Bucs break or talking Bucs, whatever they got over there, they'll be saying the same thing. If they're honest about it, they'll be like, you know what, this Cowboy team is playing a lot better than what they did earlier in the year. I'm not saying they're better than the record. I'm just saying they're playing better than some 6 and 8 teams are playing right now. It's just the way that it goes. All right, let's go to Ali in Florida.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good, buddy. Couple questions very quick, then I hang up and listen.
Okay.
First of all, I have the highest respect for you. I never call any podcast or watch any podcast. My home is your podcast.
Oh, thank you. That's nice.
Honest to God. Having said that, I got to clarify my last comment that you work for the company. You've always been fair, but sometimes we put you in an uncomfortable position. Yeah. Because you work with these people. That was the only thing I tried to get.
Oh, I didn't take that. I didn't take that the wrong way. So
okay. So a couple of things. I live literally across the street from Buck's place, One Buck Place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm a very good friend with Derek Brooks. He's one of the only Bucks I like. I have a couple, but I do a lot of charity work with him. So I ran into him 2 days ago. And they know I'm a big Cowboy fan. And he says, we are not taking this Cowboy game since the Dak is out. So they're not looking like they're going to come walk all over us. Trust me on that one. So another thing is the reason I send you that elephant group, I give you a backdrop so you know. That is the largest elephant park in Africa, and they have the largest elephant in the world, and it's right underneath the Mount Kilimanjaro.
Oh, wow.
And then they do a lot of poaching there. So they literally kill 90 elephants a day. At the same time, Chris Long has Howie's son. He has this program called Water Boys. And we, on my younger days, I've been there twice already in top of the Kilimanjaro, but not anymore. I'm getting a little bit older. But they have this water program. They take a lot of NFL players, and they pay, and the money goes for the water sources for all the kids in Tanzania. And the last thing, my question to you is this. You personally, I want your honest opinion. Would you like to see McCarthy back? And I hang up, listen. Merry Christmas, buddy. Love you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks again for the really generous gifts to me and Chris and the outstanding photography that you do. I mean, everybody's got their own talents, and you certainly have that as well. So Merry Christmas to you and that. Now, and then you just said, we put you in awkward positions, and then you're like, okay, do you want McCarthy back? Okay, bye. In my honest opinion, see, I'm torn on this one because from a personal standpoint let me just say, I do not like coaching changes here. It's not a fun off season, okay, at all. Of what it is for us, because when the season is, it's a grind, and so you want to just breathe. When the season's over, you're like, all right, and you have a little chance to do that, and then the days aren't as long, and your head's not spinning as much about what's going to happen next. So this, from a personal standpoint, it's a lot more work. It's a lot more, it's a lot less of an off season. There's always something new, something different, new coach here, all this, and I get it that there can be an excitement level to that, and then the fans, it won't matter to them either way. So the fans are just wanting somebody. Hello. So somebody that knows a little bit about coaching changes, we can talk about that. Here comes Darren Woodson to save the day as I'm over here trying to answer, do I want Mike McCarthy back? Oh, I don't even remember the question. Darren Woodson.
He needs to move over.
What is up with this?
Well, I was. Can you move over a little bit?
I'll move over. I'll get a chair, man. Hey, I'm just walking in on my guy. I could hear you outside, and I knew I told you I was going to come in.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be on the other part of town, but I'm here, and I got a couple minutes.
I tell you what, whoever the next caller is, and he deserves it, he's going to get the biggest treat because it's Darren Woodson's here. Real quick, Darren, thank you so much for being here. Merry Christmas to you and all that.
Brother. Yep.
And I know you don't have a lot of time. You're just walking through the building?
I told you I was going to be south today, and I ended up coming up north, and I needed to come see you, and then I was going to make my route.
Wow. So. And somebody just asked their Christmas wish for yesterday on the show was they want you to be in the Hall of Fame this year.
Man,
this has got to be the year. It'd be nice.
That would be.
Are you just tired of talking about it?
No. I'm not. I have been in the past.
Yeah.
But it's this time of the year that I'm kind of like, yeah, man, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, let's have the discussion.
Do you have any sense or feel?
No, I have zero sense. I've always, last couple of years, I've had a sense of, maybe this is the year, and then it hasn't happened. So, man, I've just relegated myself to say, hey, it's on God's time, and it's not on my time.
Well, I'll just say this: if it happens in New Orleans,
celebrating, brother.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to talk.
You'll be there. You'll be able to recover by the time you're going in. All right. So I just got to ask the question about coaching change, Mike McCarthy, and all this kind of stuff. And I won't ask you the same thing, but you've been there when it was time for coaching changes. You've been there when it was time for wasn't, and there's still a change. So do you get the sense, like, when do you know as a player, as somebody in the organization of like, man, we need a new voice? Do you know that? I mean, did you feel that way when Switzer?
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I don't know if it was so much Switzer. I just thought that when the players start to lose respect for the day-to-day calls that you're supposed to be doing, like, showing up on time, getting treatment, doing all the little things that it takes to go win a game. When the coach loses that part of the players, and guys are lackadaisical about studying and preparing for games, that's when you kind of know. And I don't get that feel. I honestly don't get that feel. Look, I don't think that Coach McCarthy is a guy that's coached for a long time. He has a winning percentage is unbelievable. Guys that play, he's done great things in this league. I don't think he forgot how to coach.
Right.
Like, it could be a personnel issue as well, right? That goes along with that. And they've had some bad luck to boot. And they didn't do a lot in the free agency last year. So there's a lot of things that come along with that. And it just so happens that he's going to take the burden for this. But I think he's a damn good coach, man. I honestly, this is just me. I know a lot of Cowboy fans are still out there because we're everything, all the emotions are heightened right now, and everybody wants someone's head. Someone's head's got to roll. Yeah, look, man. Sometimes you got to step back and go, like, this is the guy.
Yeah,
let's just ride with him.
Yeah, well, and then you're saying it without really saying it, and I think you're right. Listening to you talk about that, I mean, the team is playing better football. Yeah. They're playing better. They're getting their guys back.
Yeah.
And injuries, we say it all the time. They're not an excuse, but sometimes they're the reason.
Yeah.
And it's not just an excuse.
You know how you can really tell, though? I mean, you could tell if the team's really playing hard. Watch the special teams.
Okay.
Watch the guys that aren't your highest paid guys. Watch the special team guys that are like the bubble guys, right? If they don't play well, they get cut or whatnot, or they're always – watch those guys perform.
What, like if there's a blocked punt and it's rolling around and you're not supposed to get it and then they grab it? What about that?
That's not. Hey, we've been there before.
Yeah.
With the championship teams,
right.
Those things do happen. Young football player just makes a big mistake, and it sucks. And guess who takes the burden for that? Well, McCarthy's going to take the burden for that, right? But
did Jimmy take the blame?
Oh yeah,
for
he's
Leon
taking a hit, man. I mean, look, it all went to Leon, and that's a great story to tell at some point. We'll get into that story after the game and how Jimmy hugged him up, loved him up, made sure that we went back into the back room and loved on Leon.
Found him, yeah,
and we didn't lose a game afterwards. So we built on that deal. So. But I would honestly, man, I look at that.
Team hadn't lost the game since
they had lost the game, yeah. So I look at that team and this team now, and the effort is there. Guys are playing hard, man. Because I've seen teams this time of the year, they're out of the mix, and things happen, and things aren't going their way, and they just lay down. This team is not laying down.
Wow, that's awesome. Let's you want to take a couple phone calls?
Yeah, come on.
All right, Dylan in Northport, Florida. Dylan, you still holding?
Hey, what's going on?
How about your lucky day? How about that?
I had a whole nother thing planned here to talk about. I was going to talk about yesterday on 105.3 what you said, but I'm going to call an audible. Omaha. We're going to audible this.
There you go.
All right, Darren.
Yes.
All right. First off, this is the year, bro. This is it. You're getting in this year.
Oh,
all right.
Man. I appreciate that, Dylan. Thank you.
It's about time. But I wanted to ask you, first off, if we want to be competitive in 2025, I agree we got to keep McCarthy. We got to do some stuff with some contracts, but we got to keep McCarthy. If, you get a new head coach, it's going to take him a couple of years to get the system in place, revamp everything, whatever. So that's fine keeping McCarthy. I did want to ask you, they lost at Green Bay last year, maybe one of the worst playoff losses in Cowboys history, maybe the worst, right? Is there such a thing in the locker room? Because there is, from a fan base perspective, there's been a dark cloud over the fan base, from contract negotiations to players holding out to just the general feel about the owner, the GM, all that stuff. Fans have been just mad. Is there any sort of rollover into the locker room that exists after a playoff loss like that? And if there is, how do players deal with that and get over that?
Yeah, man, it's hard. That's a great question, Dylan. And it is hard when you take that type of loss, especially after you've had so much success throughout the year. And they played extremely well last year. They played extremely well at home. And then for Green Bay to come in, win that game, and then have to go into that locker room afterwards. That's a hard deal. And it's like any other business that you're ever in. After a hard loss, after if you're in the business world, which I'm in, if you have some big losses, man, it's hard to walk back in and look at your peers in the eyes after those type of situations. So to overcome that, man, and here's the thing with this organization and with this team. Your leaders really have to step up in roles when that happens. Like, really have to take the lead in. Okay, we've lost this playoff game. We were expected to win. We were playing at home. Things didn't go our way. We lost the game, and now the next day, it starts all over again. It's almost like you have to have amnesia and think about, okay, I can use this as a chip on my shoulder, but the leaders of this defense and on the offensive side of the ball have to really go out of their way to step up, and they have to shed it. Mm-hmm. They have to take it on the chin, but the leaders are really the ones who have to get rid of it and move on and start working in the offseason. See, I'm a firm believer that you just don't build teams with just talent. You just don't bring in guys and go, okay, you guys are in the room, you guys are talented, you do your thing. It doesn't work that way. It works with when you show up in the offseason, whenever that offseason program starts, even before the program starts, show your ass up.
All right.
Be a leader. Do the little things that it takes. Take criticism. Look at all the film from last year in the offseason. This starts in February, March, whatever it is. Start looking at all the mistakes and how you can get better. Take that look back to say, how can I get better? How can we get better? How can I be a better leader? Do I need to start playing on the special teams? How can I help the team win? Right? I mean, those are the aspects of the game that leaders need to take advantage of early on in the offseason. And that's where it starts. And then then the young guys start to look at you and they start to follow your lead.
You want to be a coach?
No. Okay. Hell no. I love what I'm doing.
I think you could be a great coach. I'm ready. I'm ready to play right now. I've never played a lick in my life, but I'm ready. All right. Steve in New York is up, man. Steve, what's up?
What's going on, Nick?
How are you doing?
Okay.
Did you have a trivia question? Because you always have one.
Of course I do. Of course.
Is it one that Darren could answer?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
Give it to us,
First
Steve.
off, I just want to say that's a Hall of Famer sitting next to you, and it's going to happen. It's a Cowboy thing.
Oh,
Believe me, it happened in the 70s, and with the voters, the writers, whoever, he's getting in. So I'm not even concerned about it.
Thank you.
Hopefully it's this year.
Yeah.
Best of luck with that, Woody.
Thank you.
Okay, my trivia. So Cowboys Bucks, they played like 22 times, I think.
Okay.
5 starting quarterbacks between the two teams have won Super Bowls.
Okay.
In the history of them meeting. Who are they?
So in all the games of the Bucks Cowboys games, there's been 22 quarterbacks, and 5 of those 22 quarterbacks have won.
Well, no, not 22. Well, they played 22 times, but 5 quarterbacks who started games have won Super Bowls.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. The first game was in '77, so that
Roger Staubach.
That's one.
I've got the 5. I just wrote them down.
Yeah, Doug Williams in there.
And I thought it was going to be different.
Doug Williams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Dilfer.
No.
No.
Well, Dilfer. You know what? That would be 6 then.
That'd be 6.
Okay.
Brad
you
Johnson.
got another one. Okay.
Oh.
I don't know if Dilfer. I was thinking it was Brad Johnson.
Steve Young. No.
No, he never. No.
He never played the Cowboys. It's because he was with the Bucks, but I don't know if they ever played the Cowboys.
He did not start.
He probably didn't.
Okay, so they had to play on the both teams.
Who else you got?
Between both.
Huh?
Well, you got Brady.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Yeah, Brady
That other
on there.
guy.
So how many do you have on there? How many? This because we got more. 7, right?
Yeah, I think.
I got it. Okay, Dilfer 6 now. I mean, starting as far as guys starting. I came up with. I don't know as far as guys who started games, not.
Okay.
Okay. All
Fair.
right, gotcha.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
And-
I
and
swear.
just
I do
real
that.
quick,
I do
I'm
that
gonna-
all the time. I do that all the time. I can get. Yeah. I'm over here thinking about Brad Johnson. I'm not gonna get that. All right. Steve, you got anything real quick? We're gonna have to try.
Yeah,
to move
real
on.
quick. I was going to ask you. I was going to say if it was Coach Eatman, I'll say it was Coach Woodson. I'm glad they did not tank. I hate tanking. Players don't tank. I want to win every game, but just for argument's sake, if they lose Sunday or they get eliminated, you guys have the decision. Is Trey Lance starting the last 2 games?
I'd like to see him.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks for the call. Probably, or at least playing more.
Exactly.
Playing more.
Could you imagine playing what he would his first game be Philly?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good luck. but the thing again, I keep saying this. Cooper Rush is a free agent.
Yeah.
Trey Lance is a free agent.
Yeah.
So what are you trying? And here's another thing. Like who are you playing them for? Mm-hmm. And then also next year, just think about that. Who would you like to bring back? I would like to bring back Cooper Rush as the backup. So Are we worried? Are we worried about that relationship at all? Are we worried about saying, all right, I'm going to play this guy? I mean, he understands the business and gets it, and I think he'll play some. I don't know if he'll start, but all right, let's go to Randy in San Antonio.
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing great. First of all, I want to talk about. I had a kind of a different thing. I was going to talk about a coach that had started with the Bucs and is now with the Cowboys that I watched in college. But now that Darren Woodson's on, just really want to wish him well with his process, getting in the Hall of Fame. Really deserve it. And then ask him, I know when you guys did the Deep Blue on Roy Williams, he talked about the hit against the Giants. But I want to know what's Darren Woodson's favorite of his own. He talked about how he thinks about Roy's hit. What's his favorite of his own? That's all I got. Good luck getting in the Hall of Fame. Love the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Man, the favorite hit. My God, I just saw a highlight the other day, and I think we were playing Buffalo, and my son, my 8-year-old, showed it to me. I came up, and Roy hit the running back. It was Henry, and hit the running back and stood him up a little bit, and I finished him. Yeah. And I forgot about. It's crazy. It's been so long. I forget about some of the hits. Yeah. I think the most obvious is the Darrell Jackson hit against Seattle, but that wasn't like that. I never considered that one of my favorites. You know, I had one.
No. Why would you? Because you lost a lot.
I lost like $75,000 just to be exact. That FedEx package came in, but I would say we were playing the Cardinals. I can't remember what year it was. Had a running back. They ran a toss sweep, and we were playing quarters. And I was like 12 yards deep, man. And it's almost like God just opened up the door, right? And I could see it. The timing was coming down. I was running downhill at a lane, and the running back couldn't see me. And he finally hit the lane. He was toss sweep, and then he grabbed the ball, and he finally hit that lane. And I was coming like, man, I was running a 4.3.
Yeah.
Just and hit him. The ball went up, and it.
Fumble?
Ball went straight up in the air. But it felt like, you ever had a golf swing when you hit and you don't feel anything?
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
It's usually on the 17th hole after the worst round of your life, and then you hit that. All right, Darren, real quick. I know you said you got to go. You have been the captain of many teams, and you're okay. So you would appreciate this. On our show, we have the regular callers. We have the captain. Rob from Vegas is our captain, okay?
Okay.
And I know he called in. He calls in a lot, more than anybody. And I know you got to go, but he would come after me if he didn't get to talk to Rob. So we've got to make this quick. This can't be a normal Rob call.
You got it.
All right.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We're good.
Good.
Darren, I want to thank you for making my early 20s a lot of fun in Vegas as a winner. It really was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you being a great player and a class act. That's something to be said.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Rob.
So we were talking about coaches, and I want to run this by Darren. You played for two of the best walk-around head coaches in Jimmy and Bill Parcells.
Mm-hmm.
And today, it seems like they want to go to play callers. They want the young hotshot play caller as the head coach. What do you think is more successful in today's NFL?
The game has just changed so much. It really has. It's become such an offensive game, and you got to forget. And don't forget that Jimmy was a defensive-minded coach. Parcells kind of the same, and they ran the organization as a CEO. Like Jimmy was so involved with the coaching staff and implementing the right coaches in certain situations. And if the coaches, and he used to always say, hey, it rolls downhill, right? Mm-hmm. So if things didn't go right with our defensive back group, Dave Campbell got it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like it was like he just drilled into the Campo, and then Campo came and drilled into us, right? So you kind of saw his dynamic and how he ran a team. I just think it's, like today in today's game, it's always who's the hot coach. Who is it? Ben Johnson in Detroit right now because their offense is playing well. That's just, I think it's more of an offensive minded thinking of who the next head coach is going to be because of the quarterback position.
Right.
And I think that's the big dynamic right now. Is your highest paid player is making $50 million a year. You better satisfy the thirst, or 60, and you better satisfy the thirst of the quarterback first, because that's your greatest asset. And that's just the way it is, man. It sucks. I don't like it, but I just think that's the way it lays out now.
All right.
I gotta bounce, guys. I'm sorry.
I know you do. Favorite Christmas movie of all time?
The Grinch, dude.
The Grinch?
Oh, my God. Hands down. I just watched it last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Nick.
Man, always a pleasure. This is the best. He's
Happy
the best
holidays,
of all time.
brother.
Happy holidays to you as well. We'll talk to you before you go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So we're going to take a break here on Cowboy Storyline. Be right back to answer more calls.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
Vote for Zach Martin for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award presented by Nationwide. Zach Martin, he has funds you can help raise for the National Medal of Honor Museum. So you can cast your vote on NFL.com/Man of the Year. All right. Thank you so much for Darren Woodson coming by, and I know that kind of changed things with the callers, and you guys did a great job of pivoting. I feel bad. Here, Chuck D in Bridge City, Texas is next. I know he probably wanted to get in and talk to Darren. He had to bounce. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nick, I'd actually called you a while back, and that was one of my requests when we were going to get Darren back. I just missed him.
I'm sorry, man. I hate that. I always hate that for the guy that's the next one. I mean, he told me he had to go, but we're on from Vegas on the line. I was like, well, we're gonna do one more call here. I apologize, Chuck. So
it's all good. It wasn't from a lack of effort. I called about 40 times. But, well, look.
I'm sorry.
This is what I was going to tell him, and I'll ask you.
Okay.
I've called and I'll say Bridge City, Texas. Well, it's a town between Orange, Texas, and Port Arthur, Texas.
Okay.
Can you tell me if that rings a bell to you? Any Cowboy being from either one of those towns?
Jimmy's from Port Arthur, right? No?
That's right.
Okay, I don't know about Orange.
Orange, and this is how I was going to tie it back to Woody, is Kevin Smith is from Orange, Texas.
Okay. I bet Darren knew that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that, but I was going to tie it into Overshawn getting hurt like this, and Kevin Smith was the same way. I think he was going to be a superstar, and he got hurt.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, and Kevin Smith actually, he got hurt in '95, and they signed Dion. They were going to sign Dion anyways, but he came back, and he played till '99 or at least 2000, because I know one of the years that I was here, he was on the team, so he played. I don't know if he was as great as he could have been. But, he had a couple of injuries there, but he was a good, solid player. So, and I think Overshawn could come back from that as well.
Yeah. I remember him in the 92 championship game had a cover Jerry Rice.
Yep. He
did. And he was a rookie, I think.
Yeah, he did. It was 92. You're right. He did. He recovered a fumble in that game, and he played in 93. And '94 championship game. He was out there playing. They were coming back. Cowboys were coming back in that game. I would have loved to seen a different ending there. They called PI on Darren Woodson, on Deion Sanders, then they might. But
Yeah.
all right, you got anything else, Chuck?
No, next time maybe I'll talk to Woody about that.
I know.
But, I appreciate it, Nick. It's all good.
I had no heads up on that one. I texted him a couple of days ago, and he said he told me he would do it. He said he was out of town all this week, and then maybe he comes back and we can do it in January. I was like, okay, sounds good. Happy holidays. And I didn't hear from him again until he came in, scared the crap out of me. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, Darren Woodson. All right, let's go to Armando in Mexico City. Armando.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine. A little surprised because I was able to get in only on my 14 or 15 try, so I guess it's been a slow day today.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess the gang is something.
Maybe. I mean, like, the other guy took 40, 50. Chuck had 40 or 50. It's all about timing, you know? I mean, I'm sure some people have done it in one or two rings. I don't know. But we appreciate the commitment.
Well, here we are. So anyway, Nick, I was just thinking about the salary cap, you know?
Okay.
These quarterback contracts are just getting out of hand. I was really happy when they signed Dak, but I think it's getting out of hand. I think they're going to have to do something about it, maybe a separate salary cap like somebody has proposed or something.
Yeah.
Because, remember when the number one draft pick used to hold out because they didn't even have played one single snap, and they were already demanding millions and millions until they put in rookie scale, something like that, because otherwise they're going to get out of hand, I think.
Yeah. Well, it certainly is out of control right now, and Darren even just talked about it too, about the coaching, and you have a quarterback making that kind of money. I mean, you've got to get a coach in here that can help him get to that level and maximize the investment that you're making. So, I mean, it's there's got to be something that can be done here because it is getting out of hand. But not everybody has a high-priced quarterback, and some of those teams are doing well when you don't have that. I think the 49ers benefited from it. I think the Cowboys benefited from it before Dak even got his money. He was making $2 or $3 million a year, and so I don't know if there's got to be a quarterback. I think that there should be one player on your team that gets an exemption of $40 million or whatever. Now, if your quarterback makes more than that, then you have to pay the difference. But something like that, where even because if you don't have a high-priced quarterback, you have a high-priced somebody, and maybe you could go that route. But I don't know. They have to figure something out.
Yeah, something like that. I hope that I really like Dak and I really like McCarthy. I hope they next year I would like to bring them something like a quarterback whisperer to try to get Dak on the right track, like they did with John Kitna before.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, well,
there's going to be somebody out there that can do that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, Armando. It's kind of hard to say that, when you got a guy in this, 9th year, 10th year next year. So, to bring in a quarterback whisperer for a guy in his 10th year making $60 million a year, I mean, you almost would think he would be the quarterback whisperer at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of who would come in and has seen more, done more. It doesn't have to be, maybe that's not the right term. Maybe it's just somebody that has worked with quarterbacks and can kind of get him to see things a little bit different than he's done. If McCarthy does come back, I still think they've got to make some kind of changes with the offense as far as, whether who's calling the plays or how it's designed or whatever. I think there's definitely some room for improvement there at the quarterback. I mean, at the quarterback position, the play calling, and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's go to Sergeant Sue in Fort Worth. How you doing? Nope, not there anymore. All right. Sergeant Sue, you there?
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
Good. What's up, Ed?
Nothing much, brother. At ease, everybody. Hey, is Woody still on?
He's not. I'm sorry, man. He had to go.
It's just you?
Yeah, it's just me. I'm sorry.
I'll talk to you later, bro.
All right, sounds
I'm
good.
just kidding.
Sounds good. I knew that was coming. That's fine. That's fine. That's all right.
Nah,
That's all right.
it's always. Hey,
I don't know if you will.
An honor.
I don't know if you will talk to me. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's always an honor to talk to you, man. No matter what. I mean, it's really awesome when you have special guests on and stuff. I got to talk to Woody last season.
Did you?
Got to talk to Danny last season. But talking to you every day that I get a chance to is always an honor as well, man. You're a magnificent person yourself. But
thank you.
and I wanted to say this. I know Dylan wanted to touch on this, but he actually forgot to mention it, and I know he'll touch on it more later on. But the Storyliners group, man, we're only who we are because of you and the opportunity that you've given us. You know what I mean? Like every single time we get an opportunity on the spaces, we give credit to you guys. We give credit to you and your story and your Storyline show. We just appreciate everything that you've done to give us a voice, and I know we say it all the time. So
yeah, I know that. I was kind of joking around a little bit. You guys are doing great, and it's growing, and that's awesome. I was really joking, but you guys are doing a great job, and when I've gone on there before, it's been very respectful. It's been very good. I mean, it's you guys got a lot of people that don't even get to call that are, it's kind of cool to see different names, different voices in there really getting after it. You guys have a good time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, just like I said, all credit to you, brother. All credit to you and Chris and everybody else, obviously setting it up. But no, real quick, I wanted to talk about one thing that I'm interested with this game, and I'm sure some people have maybe touched on it, but I'm interested to see how good our rush offense has really gotten. We're facing a more formidable opponent now with the Bucs, and Vita Vea is just a big old huge dude in the middle, and I want to see how our offensive line is really starting to shape up. I want to see how Rico Dowdle really is starting to play, and I also want to see how Mike McCarthy is, because yes, we've been giving him credit for sticking to the run, but what happens when it's not as successful? What happens when you're not averaging 7 a pop? Are you gonna stay true to that run, or are you gonna continue to stick to that run? So that's something that I'm interested in seeing. Regardless,
I think we lost you here. Say that again.
I said Dallas Cowboys 27-24. Favorite Christmas movie is The Grinch. All right, have a good day, brother.
Sounds good. That's what Darren Woodson said. The Grinch, which is, he's very un-Grinch-like, and so is Sergeant Sue. But no, it's you can appreciate it for different reasons as well. All right. Yeah, good question and good thought there as far as what happens when it's not going as well, because this will be a tougher matchup than what we've seen before, for sure. Just because the quarterbacks that they've beaten this year are not the top quarterbacks of the league. I mean, when you think about it, which quarterback that they've defeated is the best in the league, and man, I mean Daniel Jones isn't even with this team anymore. But I mean, they defeated Deshaun Watson, who's not starting anymore. He's on IR. They defeated Daniel Jones, who's not with the Giants. They defeated Justin Fields, who's not starting. They defeated Jaden Daniels, who is not playing. He's not playing as well as he was before. He looked like he was a lock for Rookie of the Year. He may not anymore. And then Drew Lock, who's still starting, but he hasn't been much. And they defeated Bryce Young, who was benched at some point this year. So, they lost to Joe Burrow. Close game. They lost, though. And then Baker Mayfield, who's not on that level, but he's made it to a Pro Bowl before, and he's playing pretty good football. All right, let's take one more quick break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit AltecLansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's AltecLansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline.
All right, check out the youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. You've got the cheerleaders helping out the dance camps on December 27th. You got former NFL players such as Danny McRae helping with the football camps on the 23rd and the 27th. Celebrate the holidays with the Cowboys. Register today at DallasCowboys.com/camps. All right, let's get a couple more calls in real quick here before we end the show. Chris in San Angelo, Texas.
Mr. Nick, how you doing today, my
Good.
friend?
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I had one for Darren, but I guess I missed him. So I guess you could just shoot him my number.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll get right on that, and I'll ask him to his face or by phone. Hey, anyway, I was going to ask you a question about the upcoming roster for next year.
Okay.
Do you think that the wide receiver 2 for next year is on our roster right now? I'm just going to ask that. And then I had a prediction about the game.
Okay.
I think the Cowboys will probably take this one 32-27, just because they're just not going to make it easy on anyone to say the other shoe has dropped and they're that, you know what I mean? Like they're done for. They're a horrible squad. But other than that, my friend, just you and Chris have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Chris.
You betcha.
All right. Yeah. Wide receiver 2 on the roster. Great question. I think Jalen Tolbert, his salary jumps up a little bit. He hit an escalator in his contract, so he's going to be like $3 million. This will be the last year of his deal, but I think he will be on the roster. I think, is he the number 2? We'll see. But I don't see them making a move in free agency that would be better than him. More expensive than him. I don't see that in free agency. I see them drafting someone, and it'll be up to that guy to come in and be better than a guy entering his 4th year. That seems unlikely, but possible. Brandon Cooks, I don't see being on this team next year. Greg in Sacramento is our last caller. Greg, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Nick?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I finally got to join in on the storyliners on X or Twitter, or whatever, yesterday. So that was pretty cool. I like how, I like hearing from a lot of those guys. So it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I did want to – go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I did want to comment on something that Rob said the other day, Rob in Vegas. So he had mentioned something about getting rid of Mike McCarthy. Like, I know he really wants him out of there. But he made a comment. He said he hasn't done anything, or he's not better than Jason Garrett was. And I don't know. I mean, after 12-win seasons, how already is he not? I mean, Jason Garrett was here for a long time, and I know he kind of went a little bit further in the playoffs than McCarthy. But to me, I think McCarthy is already better than Garrett was, in my opinion. I mean, maybe not as a play caller, and I get that's where most of the frustration is with McCarthy. And I'm frustrated too. Some of those calls he made in the in the Bengals game were pretty questionable, especially how good Rico Dowdle was playing and stuff, and not sticking with the run. But so maybe I would say keep McCarthy as head coach, but maybe get a different play caller.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
And then one other thing that I want to know your thoughts on is what do you attribute Rico Dowdle's kind of success more? Do you attribute it more to the offensive line, or do you think that Rico Dowdle kind of has something? Because personally, I think Rico Dowdle's good. Like, I think he's, he's better than serviceable. I think he's actually a pretty good back, because even when the O-line was having its struggles earlier in the season, when Rico Dowdle was the featured back, he was getting decent yardage. He was getting the 80+ yards that got us those few wins. So. What do you attribute?
All right.
Do you think it's more Rico Dowdle or the O-line?
All right.
And just want to say Merry Christmas to you, and hope you have good holidays.
You too. Thanks so much, Greg. Happy holidays to you as well. Thanks for calling. I've said this so many times this year. It's not a cop-out answer. Sometimes the answer is both. I mean, it can be both. The offensive line is blocking better. I think it's three things, really. The offensive line, even though they're buying in, even though they got different players in there, that just goes to show that the overall scheme, they're doing a really good job of blocking up front. I think Rico Dattle's running very hard. He's running hard. He's seeing it better. He's hitting that hole, and then he's running violently. And he's hanging on to the ball for the most part. He's had a couple times where he's fumbled, but he's gotten bailed out. But and because he was down, but he's running really hard. And then also, let's look at the defense. The defense helps the offense as well. When the defense is getting after it, they're making plays. They're keeping you in the game. They're in these last 4 games, they have been winning in the fourth quarter in all 4 games. Obviously, they've won 3 of them, but even they were winning at one point in the fourth quarter against the Bengals, and they were tied for most of that. So they have been in position to run the ball the entire game. And I think that's a big part of it as well. As for the Garrett McCarthy thing, they both have gone to the divisional round. That nobody's gone further than that. So you can't really say from that standpoint. Garrett was here longer, had some, a lot more 8-8s and a couple of, down seasons as well. There's been a little bit more consistency with McCarthy. I would give him the edge over Garrett in his time here, and because I think if you gave McCarthy 3 more years, and Garrett was here like 8 or 9, if you give him 3 more years, I think you'll see a lot more wins and probably more playoff wins and probably just more overall success. That's my opinion. It's close. It's kind of like the Dak Romo comparison. They've kind of done the same thing. It just kind of depends on how you look at it. All right, guys, great show. 12 callers plus Darren Woodson. What an outstanding show, an outstanding surprise for him to join us. And it's our last show of the week. We don't, like I said, we don't have a show tomorrow, unfortunately, but there will be shows in the morning, 3 of them, I believe, tomorrow morning. So check them out as well. But we'll be back on Monday and Tuesday, 23rd, 24th. We'll be here 2 times at the first part of the week. So I think we're only missing Christmas Day for shows next week, but definitely here on Monday to talk about the Cowboys and the Bucks. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you on Monday on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. How about this?